you got to do switch it up. You got to go and actually put the work in and invest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once you actually put the work in and invest, and when I say invest, like I mean both, like money and time, and
Yeah, invested in different
yeah,
places.
yeah,
Like how
yeah.
you were saying, like you put your money in one machine and then you win. Don't
Yeah,
do it
you
again. Go
can't
to
do
a different
that.
machine.
Yeah, or
Cause
do something different.
yeah,
Like get out the casino, bro.
that
You're
too.
thinking too small. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? There's better ways to make money
right.
if you think about it.
Welcome back to Sun City SITREP. I'm your host, Deshaun Johnson, but you could call me DJ. And today we have another guest. We have an artist, producer, engineer. But I'll let you introduce yourself, my man.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is JC. A lot of people call me JC Kush
Yeah.
or just Kush. Doesn't matter what you want to call me. Yeah.
Sick. All right, so like, what exactly do you do? Like, what's your main thing that you would say that you do?
Well, I started making music, like I started writing, so I guess I'm a writer first.
Mhm.
And so when you start writing, you don't really have anything to write to, because it's like, I mean, I did start off writing off of other people's beats, but you could only
Mhm.
do so much
Almost
on other
definitely.
people's beats, as you know. And so you got to start learning how to produce yourself. Well, you don't have to with that. In my head, I was like, I don't have money, so what am I going to do? I'm going to learn it. I've always been good with computers. So I just started getting into FL Studio, and I picked it up really quick. I was just like, boom, boom, boom.
Mhm.
Like the beat making to me was really easy because like I really always go off of sounds, I guess, like feelings. So like you don't really have to know like your chords or like
Yeah,
I have some
right.
knowledge of it because like in my younger days I was like in orchestra and like
Like you knew
choir
the
and stuff
music
like that. So
theory,
yes, I don't though.
but the basics.
But I know, yeah, some of the basic stuff.
Mhm.
But so once I start getting into FL, it's like you don't really need all that as
Mhm.
long as you like could just hear it, like go off of what you're hearing.
Right.
Like that's what I did. Like I knew my stuff, but I didn't necessarily use it. You know what I mean?
No, I get you.
So I started producing. It came easy to me. Boom, boom, boom. The hardest part was in the engineering.
Right.
So that took me like I'm still learning to this day, but like I told you earlier, like I feel like I've perfected it after like 15 years around there that I've been like messing with FL Studio. And like a lot of people will tell you can't engineer on FL Studio. Yes, you can.
Mhm.
You don't need Pro Tools. Like it's not about the DAW that you use. It's like
Facts.
the person behind it and like the knowledge and like the time that you put in the 10,000 hours. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like
Facts.
doing the 10,000 hours. I think that's what it takes like to get to where you need to go without like having to like without taking any shortcuts, I guess.
Mhm.
You know, I would say.
I get you. And like when you said that when you first started out, you would use like certain type of beats. Like, was there someone that was, um, not that you were copying them, but you would like emulate them. Like you would
Well,
try to get a certain.
I started actually rapping because my cousin like he put me onto Eminem,
Mhm.
and like when I saw Eminem, I was like I'm hooked. Like damn, that's crazy. Like
Yeah, he has
yeah,
such like in the beginning, like well,
yeah,
even now, like,
yeah.
but like his stuff, like my
Now
name is, and
it's yeah, now it's a little tough to listen to Eminem because you know who he was at a certain point, and like I love that he like tries to like still like do the stuff that he does,
Mhm.
but he can't do it the same. Like maybe he can, but he just doesn't do it the same way that maybe like a Jay-Z or a Nas would,
Right.
which is fine. But like not everybody like Kanye is like washing out too in a way. Like he
Yeah,
doesn't sound the same. You know what I'm
he just
saying?
yeah.
Like we love the old Kanye, we love the old
Mhm.
M and all, but like it's just it's hard to adapt to the new age in a way.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was watching the interview on my way over here. You guys were talking about the difference between hip hop and rap, and it's like, well, the thing about it is like it became rap,
Mhm.
right? It became mainstream, so it became rap.
Right.
but hip hop was always the essence of it,
Yes.
which was the breakdancing and the, you know, like that's what hip hop is if we want to break it down, like on some
Right.
KRS stuff, you know, like if you really break it down, it was hip hop and then it became rap,
Mhm.
and that's what people like. People like rap, but there's people that came into it and blended rap and hip hop,
Right.
and that's what Drake did,
Mhm.
and what him and Future did on what was that album called? What a Time to Be Alive.
Yeah.
So they really they blended, like they bridged hip hop and rap at that point,
Mhm.
because it was like Drake was rapping, Future was on that trap rap, but
Yeah.
it was rap, and Drake was still hip hop, and he still is hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he became rap as well, and they fused it, which is fine. Like that's what needed to be done, because then like you don't have the new Kendrick, you don't have the new Cole. You know what I'm saying? Like Cole,
I get you.
the new Cole, the last mixtape. What was it called? My
Might
Delete
Delete
Later.
Later?
It sounded the way that it sounded because he started hanging out with Drake,
Yeah.
and people started adapting to that mainstream Cole, because they used to call him boring because nobody likes hip hop no more. But Griselda brought it back.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like people like hip hop again. It's crazy. It's really crazy how, like, and even like it's just because the times are coming back. It's just like it's a repetition of things. But also like that's what Kendrick did. He brought it back to the essence, and like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like
And
we needed that too.
like I was watching the cipher yesterday with Big Sean.
Yeah.
Well, like I was just watching the whole
Yeah.
beef between
Yeah.
Joey Badass and
Ray
Ray
Vaughn.
Vaughn, and it's like
And
it
they
just
like,
felt like
and they like.
yeah, and it just felt like hip hop was healing again.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
just felt like we
right,
haven't gotten
right,
something like this in so
right,
long. It was just
right.
like
Yeah, we're excited about it again. Like
yeah,
it's fun to just like see people go at each other, like even if it's just like friendly competition.
exactly. And it's like we're waiting for their new drop. We're waiting
But
for
it's
something
not
to
even
drop.
just that though. I think it was like also the interaction that they had between each other. How like Soul kind of became the bigger brother and was like, nah, like you gotta respect the game, like
Yeah.
respect the game. And Sean just kind of in the back, like, yeah, like we're just here to kind of like have fun and like, you know,
Exactly. And another thing that people are missing with this whole cipher thing is that they did that in one take.
one take.
That was
Yeah,
a
they're all
one
in the
take,
same
no
room.
stuttering.
Boom.
They just got that.
But they knew each other's verses, which was interesting.
Yeah.
So they had heard it before, like they like rehearsed it.
Most
kind of.
definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So it is interesting that they were like reacting to each other, but they were playing along with it too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they had to play their role. And you know what I was thinking about earlier too, when I was watching that interview, you were talking about the state of El Paso hip hop, right? And how like there's a lot of people that just they don't bring it back, but it's on us really to like do that. Like
Facts.
we need like if there's just there's a lack of leadership here, I guess you could say. Like there's no leadership in El Paso, and that's what's really missing.
Yeah. And honestly,
But I
I'm
guess
not
it's
gonna
up to us.
Yeah.
right?
And that's why I'm calling out all these rappers. Like,
Yeah.
if you watch the DJ and Jesus, like I have stuff
I have
like
not.
I'm calling out Evander Grimm, I'm
Yeah.
calling out Crystal Papa, I'm calling
Yeah,
out all
yeah.
these people. Like I even did it on the
Yeah,
track.
yeah.
And that's the way it's supposed to be. Like
Yeah, they don't owe us anything though at the same time.
No, most
you know?
definitely.
And I know them personally. Like I've met them and like they're cool people. But at the same time, it's like we have to do that for the next people, because we can't just say like, hey yo, what are you doing for me? And because then they're gonna point the finger at you. That like the next generation is gonna be like, well, what are you doing for me? You know, it's
Yeah.
like everybody's got to do for themselves, and that's all we could really do at the end of the day. But if we can though, like if we're gonna talk about it, then let's be about it, and then let's establish that like what do you call it when it's like you have like that big brother? Is it the big brother?
Big bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like when there's like kids, and then like you kind of like
Yeah.
adopt them
Like the
as,
last
yeah,
person
yeah.
I had on here, I
Yeah.
said like, yo, I'm about to big bro you, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Like I'm gonna
no,
put you
no,
on
but
game.
I'm saying like there's like this thing where like you could take on a little kid, and they're like you could help them, like it's like
Mentor.
yeah, like a mentor, right? But there's like a special program for it. I think it was called like
Oh
a
no,
Big
I don't,
Brother
Big Brothers and
program. Yeah,
Sisters.
yeah, like something like that, like a
I was
Big
part of
Brother
that.
program. That's what we gotta do, type. Like that's what we gotta do. Like when I see the younger artists, I'm like, hey, bro, like get on your BMI or your ASCAP because like that's where the money's at. Like I try to tell everybody like get on Song Trust. Do you have Song
I
Trust?
don't.
You don't? Get on Song Trust. Get on. Do you have BMI and ASCAP?
I don't. I
You
don't.
got to get on that, bro, because see, that's the thing about it. Like a lot of people will be in the game, but they won't give you the game because they don't know the game.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it.
Okay.
They don't know the game. So it's okay. Like maybe it's up to us then. You know what I'm saying? For the next people to be like, okay, like this is where like this is where I slacked it. So pick it up. Like that's why I'm telling you, like, get on that because that's where the money's at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, it's all business, right?
Yep.
So just get your business straight, get your music straight. That's what I tell everybody, like the younger people that I know, and like just keep going. Like that's what my album's about. It's called "What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Stronger." So
Gotcha.
it's like you just gotta keep going. Like, cause I've seen so many people like make music and have the talent, and then they just give up on the music because it's not working out. And I've had that too, and I've had friends like I have my homie that's producing on there. He gives me a call like, well, he sent me a voicemail. He's like, hey, yo, I'm thinking about quitting because like I'm not seeing the results I want. And I'm like, bro, I feel that. Like I need to put that on my album because I feel that, and I know everybody feels that,
Yeah.
Like everybody has felt that at a certain point in their career where they're like, the people are not responding the way that I thought they would, or like I'm not getting the help that, like even me being here in this podcast, like it's a major look. Like that's dope that you guys are doing that, so that you guys are helping me, and then I'm helping somebody else, and
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what we need to be doing. So I guess in a way, like what we're doing right now is building the hip hop scene.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's gonna be crazy because like as soon as we get like competitions going, maybe even ciphers going, like I
Let's
feel like
go.
we definitely need a healthy community
Yeah,
for
for
like
sure.
hip hop instead of just
sure.
being everyone separate doing their own
Yeah.
thing. Let's all come together and see
Yeah.
what we could
What
do
we could
for each other.
together. Yeah, for sure. I feel like El Paso has been growing in that direction though, from the start of it. Like it's just become a lot bigger. Like there's more artists, there's more podcasts, there's more opportunities, which is dope to see.
Right.
And maybe we don't need them to reach out to us. Maybe we could just do it on our own.
Yeah.
And then they'll catch on to it.
Facts.
And then they'll be like, okay, well now I need to get on too. But it just takes time. Like we gotta put in the work. Like it's like that saying when like you have a flat tire, right? Nobody's gonna help you if you don't help yourself. If you don't start going out there and like trying to see you, like even if you don't know what you're doing, just trying to be outside. Like, damn, like I need some help. Like somebody will
feel.
be outside and be like, oh, okay, well, they're outside their car looking crazy. They might need some help. But if
Yeah.
you don't go outside, then they're not gonna know that you need some help.
Right. You're just sitting there on your phone.
Exactly. And a lot of times that's what we're doing. Like we just sitting at the crib making music and locked up in our own little spaces and our own little islands. Like, nobody likes me. Nobody, like, and that's how we get as artists. Like, and that's how it is. But, you just got to get out there and like talk to some people. People are pretty cool for the most part out here.
Yeah.
in El
Like who knows
Paso.
what you're gonna create? Like people have so many
Yeah.
different styles. Like the person I had on before you, like his style is so unique and different that I was like, I don't know if I could make something like that.
Yeah.
But like what if we tried? Like what if
Yeah.
I mix my style with your style and see what we
Yeah.
could create with that?
Yeah,
There's like so
definitely.
many different things we could do.
I do feel like a lot of times we block ourselves to a lot of things, but sometimes it's okay to like be like, oh no, I don't like that. Like if you don't like it, you don't like it. But sometimes it's good to like be like, okay, but maybe we could do it this way. Maybe I like it this way. You know what I'm saying? And like it's good to try different stuff when you're in the studio and like be open minded about stuff and like accept criticism too.
Yeah. And then like when it comes to making your music, like you have to experiment like a scientist.
Yeah, for sure.
Because like if you're just doing the same
sir.
old things, like doing stuff that works for you,
Yeah.
you're never gonna evolve.
Yeah.
And I don't even mean to like put him under the bus or anything, because I used to be a huge fan of him.
Yeah.
Ski Master Slump God.
Yeah.
Like his newest album, he still sounds like the
Nah.
same person
Yeah.
doing the same thing, and that
Yeah.
album kind of just
I,
fell off.
I feel like what you're kind of like Trippie Redd too in a way,
Hmm.
huh? Right?
But
Like,
he drops so consistently, it's getting
yeah,
annoying. Like
yeah.
he drops 2 albums in
But
1 year.
then again, I think it's also because it's kind of like watered down music in a way.
Hmm.
Not no shame to him, but like Currency drops a lot too, and it still rides. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah,
Like Wiz has been dropping a lot too, and people don't even talk about it, but it's been fire. Like a lot
yeah,
of the new Wiz is fire, and I've been riding to it. Even I just listened to the new Snoop, and that was pretty
yeah,
decent. But that's also another thing about how like the West Coast is coming back, and
yeah.
that that's
West Coast is going
crazy.
crazy.
Oh,
Not gonna
West
lie.
Coast is going crazy. Shout out to Snoop and everybody, man. Like
Yeah, and like there's this one quote
OGs.
from Tupac. He said like even if you sell like a million, like I'm not gonna get the quote like all the way right, but he's like
Yeah,
even if you sell like a million copies of your record, like a million people are buying crack every day, but that don't mean it good.
that's true.
So
Rest in
that's the
peace
way
to
I look
Pac,
at
man.
Drake. Like just because he's making so many songs
Yeah,
and doing so many numbers, it
yeah,
doesn't mean that he's
yeah. That is
good.
good for the culture. I
Because
mean, the
he's
thing about
diluting
it
rap.
is that people will consume that because that's what they want to consume.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they want to consume. At the end of the day, you got to make things palatable for people. I was just talking to my friend too about that. Like, I make music with a message, but I
Hmm.
don't want to sound like a preacher either because nobody wants to hear that. Like,
Yeah.
I love Locksmith. Nobody knows who Locksmith is.
Mm.
You know who Locksmith is?
Can't say I do.
You see what I'm saying? I love Locksmith. I love me some J Electronica.
Yeah,
Not a lot of people know who J
I do. I
Electronica
do.
is. That's dope that you know, but you know that not a lot of people know about J Electronica
Yeah,
and
like
stuff like that, or like
specific
Mick
lyricists, yeah,
Jenkins.
or
Yeah, exactly.
like
Absol, even now that
Absol,
he's getting his shine, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Because he's always been
Black
one of
Thought,
my Black Thoughts, one of my
yeah,
favorites. Like
crazy.
Rome Streets. I don't know if you heard of Rome Streets. He's with Griselda in them.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite top three actually. Like it's Nas, Kendrick, Rome Streets for me. Those are
Okay,
my top three.
I respect that.
Like
Respect.
I guess because it would be like from each generation. I
Mm-hmm.
just feel like those three guys like are on kind of like the same page that I am, except that Nas had his generation and then Kendrick has his generation. I feel like Rome Streets kind of has that for the next generation.
Yeah.
If I'm calling somebody like the next one, it would be him, honestly, in my opinion.
Okay,
Rome
that's interesting.
Streets.
I'll check him out for
Check him
sure.
out, bro. I put everybody onto him and they're like, okay, I see it. Yeah,
Rome Streets.
he's really dope. He's got a lot of potential.
And where's he
I
from?
think so. He's somewhere from New York, I'm guessing.
Oh, okay,
He
okay.
sounds a lot like Big Al. You know Big
Gotcha.
Al?
Yeah.
I love Big Al. Rest in
Sick.
peace. But yeah, he reminds me of Big Al, and he's like one of my favorite rappers.
Mm.
Why were we talking about him though?
Uh, something about lyricists.
Oh yeah, not a lot of people know lyricists.
Yeah.
So the whole thing about it is like I want to bring that back too. Like I love what Kendrick's doing because we all know him as a lyricist.
Hmm.
And then he came back and he gave you K Dot, which is the bot maker. And they're
Yeah.
like, wait, what? That's Kendrick? No, he's not. But it's not Kendrick. It's K Dot.
Yeah.
It's actually K Dot. He took it back to the streets, and it's cool to see that. And like that Ray Vaughn joint hit so much
Yeah.
harder because of what Kendrick did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, okay, he's on that LA, swag,
West Coast.
and it's like
Yeah.
you can't. I don't know, man. There's something about it. Like I love Joey, but he's got to step it up. And I like the rebuttal, but it wasn't enough. You got
Yeah.
to step it up to
He has
come
some
at
crazy
Ray
bars
Vaughn.
in there though. Like if I could
He
pull up
did.
like Genius,
Right.
because I can't
Right.
think of him off the top right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
But
right.
it's just I listened to
Yeah.
Ray Vaughn
Yeah.
that one track so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. No,
It's so
I honestly I only heard it not like one or two times, and I knew, dog. I knew. I was just like, I'm telling you, off of feeling. I'm a feeling person. When you ask the other homie like how he picks his beats, I was like, oh, that's interesting because I'm really off of feeling. Like I don't have a certain like I don't go for any sound. Like I just have a feeling. Like I could do trap, I could do soul, I could do anything, jazz, anything. I could do anything as long as I get that feeling. And I don't know how to explain it, but I just get that feeling, and I know that I could get on a track or something, and like it just kind of like I have a song called Holy Ghost, right? So I just feel like something takes over me, bro. Like when I
Yes.
make music sometimes, and a lot of people experience this. This is called what is it called? Flow state.
Flow state,
Flow
yeah.
state. And so when you're on flow state, you catch the Holy Ghost. That's what I call it, because it's like God takes over you in a way because you're kind of like letting Him do his magic through you. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And so like that's why I make music, if we're being honest. Like I feel like I'm a channel
Yeah.
for a higher source.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And like what I say impacts you in a positive. Oh, I tried to make it in a positive way, even though I have imperfections. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah.
kind of what I have, like the whole duality stuff, like the black and white of the
Mhm.
album cover, and also because all the classic albums have black and white covers, like To Pimp a Butterfly,
Yep.
Scorpion.
Yep.
Uh, there's just so many. I can't. You know,
No, I feel.
I
I feel.
just I just feel like in general the black and white. My homie Jamal Street, you know Jamal Streeter?
I don't.
Oh, he's a dope MC from here, from El Paso. Check him
Okay.
out. You guys should have him. Shout my boy Brainwaves as well, and of course Angelique. You know Angelique, right?
Yes.
Okay, so shout out to them. They're on my
Yeah, I was
album. All
actually
three
just
of
talking
them.
to. Well, yeah, I was talking to her about getting this podcast going, but like she sent me some of her stuff, and I was
Yeah,
like,
she's dope.
very underrated.
Yes.
Like she needs
More
more.
exposure, right?
Yeah.
But that's what we all do, though.
Yeah.
That's what we all do. But it's like it's crazy how El Paso is so talented, and like
Mhm.
we're so diverse, and like there's so many people like out here that don't know each other but are doing great things at the same time.
Mhm.
So I feel like it's constellations. We just gotta put the dots together.
Yeah.
Like connect the
Orion's
dots.
belt. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we just gotta connect the dots, you know? And then
Yeah.
once the dots are connected, then El Paso's gonna activate
Interesting.
in a way. You know,
Yeah,
there's
most
gonna be
definitely.
we're gonna activate some type of portal in here once
That'd be cool.
the stars get connected. It is, because if you think about it, we are the third coast. So it's LA, New York, Atlanta, and what's on the other side? El
Mm.
Paso. So what's in between? It's like LA, New York, Atlanta, El Paso.
Yeah. I feel. I feel.
Think about it. I mean, not technically the third coast. I guess it would be like a fourth coast
No
in a
worries.
way, but they call it the third coast because it's like Texas or whatever. I don't know why they call it the third coast, to be honest.
No worries. No
But
worries. But like,
shout out the third coast.
who do you think is
We are
like
the third coast.
the face of the third coast?
That's a good question. We don't have a face yet. Anybody. It's a flip of the coin. It's kind
Yeah.
of like, who do you think's repping for Mexicans right now? There's a lot of them. A lot of people would tell you Lefty Gunplay,
Mm.
but then again, a lot of people would tell you it's GT Garza. A lot of people would tell you it's what's the other homie's name that I really like? Or the Yotes, you know, the Coyotes. The Coyotes are
No.
fire, dude. They're messing with they did a song with Absol.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So shout out the Coyotes.
I feel like I
and they're
have heard
linked
of
up with Doughman.
Mhm.
And Doughman and GT Garza have a song with Crystal Poppin. So bro, I know, I almost feel like Kendrick knows about us.
Like,
Because look at the connection.
uh-huh.
Lefty Gunplay, Crystal Poppin, El Paso, GT Garza, the Yotes. There's, I'm telling you, bro, it's a constellation. It's about to be just bah, 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 bah. The dots are connected.
It is.
And it's a matter of time until somebody from El Paso pops off.
I see it about
we
to
need,
happen, too.
or not even just a person, maybe just that we actually create a sound, maybe, because that's what we're missing.
Mm.
I mean, we know people from El Paso, but we don't really have a sound out here.
Yeah, I mean, I went to this this rap. I don't even want to call it a concert. It was just in this bar, but it was so many people in there.
That's what.
But like they
are
had a
now.
bunch of El Paso artists come through, but they
Yeah.
all not that they all sounded the same, but they all had like this specific style that was like gangster-esque. And
But
I
that's
wasn't
not
really
an El
rocking
Paso.
with it.
Yeah, that's not an El Paso sound.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We just don't have a sound, so everybody wants to sound like something
Yeah.
that's not themselves because we don't have a sound. So what are we gonna? You know,
Mhm.
it takes some time to create a sound out of a place.
Yeah, because like if you hear something from the West Coast, you're gonna know it's
You're
from
gonna
the
know
West
it's West Coast.
Like that's
you hear something
that
from
bounce to
Atlanta,
it.
it's
Yeah.
something from Atlanta. You hear something from New York's a little questionable at this point.
Yeah, true. But
But-
Chicago, like
Yeah,
drill,
Chicago has this
Yeah.
sound, but New York still, New York has the OG sound of hip hop, the boom
Mhm.
bap. Of course, now they got the drill, and the sexy drill or whatever.
yeah,
Even
or
with-
Jersey Club.
yeah, or the Jersey Club. You see, that's what I'm saying. But then again, it doesn't really matter too much because it's like that's another thing about it. Like they kind of got lost in the sauce. The game got lost a little bit,
Yeah.
you know. But that's the whole thing about adapting. New York didn't know how to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's taken some time, but
Yeah,
I
because I also see that Joey Badass still hasn't really evolved either.
nah, he hasn't. But it definitely like he has a potential because now there's like a space for people to because you know what I'm saying. Like Joey has a song with Rome Streets actually.
Okay.
And like that sound, that New York sound is coming back, like we were talking about earlier. So he has a space to create.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you could still have enough space for the drill stuff.
Yeah.
The thing about it is that El Paso doesn't have its own sound, so we can't stamp anything. Like the closest thing we could stamp is Texas music, which would be you either because well, in my opinion, there's only two Texas sounds, which is like the DJ Screw sound,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like chopped and screw, chopped and slopped.
Yeah.
And then there's a Travis sound, or we could call it the Kirk Banks
Yeah.
sound.
I see it.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's who really originated that sound. If you think about it in Texas, Kirk Banks.
True.
I was thinking about that. Like the auto tune stuff, Kirk Banks. And then Travis came out of that using that. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? So there is kind of a Texas auto tune.
That drink in my cup.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
but it was first Kirk Banks
Yeah.
that made it pop off. But Travis is an absolute beast, and that's probably who I look up to. Like,
Okay.
also like
production wise and everything.
Yeah. I feel like that's what I would sound like more. Like
Interesting.
when I'm not rapping, like when I'm singing, I'm more like in a Travis Scott space. When I'm rapping, I'm more like in a Kendrick space.
Yeah, because like...
Oh, nah, not really, honestly. I don't even think I'm touching Kendrick. I'm more like on a Cole vibe, honestly.
No,
sometimes I tap that Kendrick, though.
Because, like, I like that
Sometimes.
T-Pap. Like, I really go for those types of beats, like with the drums just going crazy, like a freestyle drum kind of thing. Those are the ones that I really go for. And, like, those really influence my my flow, my cadence, stuff like that, because it's...
You mean like the trap sound?
No, like Mama by Kendrick on To Pimp a Butterfly.
Okay.
Like
So
where
like
it's so abstract and it lets
yeah.
me do like something crazy with the flow into like the lyrics. It lets me be free.
The
instead
unorthodox.
Of, instead of doing that wet dreams kind of like the so generic that it's confining me.
Yeah. Where you're like kind of like, am I compromising?
Yeah.
Right.
Because like you'll hear people freestyle, but they always go with the same flow, same cadence on every single beat.
Yeah.
But just like I love changing it up and getting different with it.
Yeah. That's the thing about it though, because you gotta kind of compromise on that in a way. Well, in my opinion, you don't have to, but in a way you kind of do, because you want, like I said, you want to make it palatable for other people. So people are usually more entertained or more captivated by something that they already heard. So if they could sing along to it, you know what I'm saying? They'd rather do that than to listen to something they can't sing along to because they don't know it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so they're different. That it'll throw them off. Like I was thinking, you said this on the podcast the other time, and you threw them off. Like, what would your music taste like to other people? Well, I think my music is like chocolate cake. Like if you really like it, like you really like it. But like if you don't really like it that much, you might like it at first, but then you're gonna stop like after a while. This is like it's too much for you, so you just put it away. That's what my music is like. If you like really tap into what I'm saying, it might be a little too much for you because it might not be like the information for you right now. You might want something more palatable and more simplistic, more, you know, like that's why people like Drake. You know what I'm saying? They want the simplistic stuff. They want the easy to process. You know what I'm saying? When it gets harder to process stuff, people put it away.
Yeah.
You know, like the Kendricks and the Coles. But for the people that really like it, you can't get enough.
Right.
So that's why I'm like chocolate cake.
Okay. I respect it.
And I like chocolate cake.
Yeah. No, like coming back to that question, I don't even know what I would taste like now because like ever since then my writing style has changed. It's become more poetic and like I've really evolved and I've really taken time to like really construct something
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
like not even just like a simple 1 2 3 rhyme, 1 2 3 rhyme, 1 2 3, like it's
Yeah,
one
one, two,
rhyme
and then
and
it'll
then
rhyme again on the other. Yeah,
yeah, like
dude, that's some
somewhere
Kendrick
down
stuff
the
right there.
yeah, he inspired me so much that
Right.
it's like I
I've seen that. Yeah, I definitely want to get back into in my writing skills too. Now that
mm,
I feel like more comfortable with the engineering,
mhm,
I also feel like I want to get like you say you've been into your writing binge. I
yeah,
kind of want to do that because I for some reason I just can't stop making beats, bro.
same
I
actually.
just can't like something in me like every so often gives me the itch where I'm like, bro, I haven't made a beat in a minute. Like
Yeah.
I go in there, I'm just like ta 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 ta, ta 5 minutes,
Yeah.
boom, I have a
Exactly.
beat
That's how it is too.
quick, yeah, and I'm just like, all right, cool, I got that off, you know,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, okay, I caught something with this, and then I'll write, but like I can't just sit there and force myself to write.
Hmm.
I don't know. Well, not that I can't, I just haven't. I haven't done it, and I
Yeah.
want to do that actually, just to put my skills to the test on that, you know,
Mm.
because I've been putting my skills to the test with the engineering, like since like once I was mixing and mastering the album, I was like doing a whole lot of mixing and mastering. That's when it really clicked for me. I was like, oh, okay, I need to do this in order for this to sound like this, and like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No, I get you.
Okay, and so I was like, all right, so I got the engineering down pretty good to where I feel comfortable with it. Like I said, I want to go back and sharpen my skills as a writer like that too. Kind of like
Yeah.
what J. Cole was saying about how I don't want to like not go my like not 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 waste my potential, you know, like I don't want to waste my potential, so I want to
Yeah.
like go in there and like really get it, sharpen my skills and see what I can put out for my next album, and like
Yeah.
really try like my best this time for
Most
real.
definitely. And like I changed up my writing style because I saw this one interview with Top Dog. It was with Curtis, I want to say Curtis
Curtis King.
Jackson.
No,
Jackson?
Curtis King.
Yes. I
Curtis
don't know where I
King,
got
right?
Jackson from.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah,
Curtis
but
Jackson.
I don't know where I
Curtis
got the
Jackson's 50 Cent.
oh damn, bro.
Shout out to 50 Cent though.
For sure, for sure.
That's one of the reasons why I started making music too, honestly. Like I feel like that whole Eminem 50 Cent run was just like that was peak. Like, and I be getting him into my 50 Cent vibe sometimes. I'm just
Yeah.
like, damn, if I can't do it, homie, it can't be done. You
Yeah.
know, and I like that he was singing too, like,
Yeah.
and he did what Kendrick did. Rest in peace to Ja Rule.
He should have never. I don't know what he was thinking.
And Drake shouldn't have said, drop 100, man.
No, he stop.
Yeah, man. Man, I'm telling you, I hate Kendrick for that, but still love him.
But yeah, that Curtis King interview
Curtis
with
King,
Top
Top
Dog,
Dog.
he was saying that how Kendrick writes, like at one point he just put his pen and pad down, and
That's
then like
crazy.
he would just think about it,
I've been thinking about doing that
and
actually.
I
Just
started
going
doing
in.
that.
Yeah, you've been
Yeah,
freestyling your stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
In
How'd you like it?
that rap challenge one,
Yeah.
on the second half, I was just like, okay, I don't have any time to like write anymore. I'm just gonna,
You just
I
freestyling
just
from
let that
now
one
on?
go. Yeah,
Damn.
and
That's what everybody says too. I have a couple of friends that do that. I just, as an engineer, it gives me like a weird vibe. I don't know. I feel like I need to be in there. Boom, click it, record it. Boom. I don't know. It's
uh-huh,
just a weird. I don't know. I want to try it though. I want to try freestyling it just cause.
most definitely.
But it's also since I'm my own engineer, it's like I have to go in the booth and then I gotta go to the computer.
Yeah, that's the
Go
part
back in
that
the booth.
sucks.
Getting back in the computer. I'm just like,
That's the
dang.
part that sucks.
So I might as well just click, click, and then okay, dubs, click, click. Alright,
Yeah.
we good. Or by hook and then the verse and then I just copy the hook.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Keep it simple.
And then like as I'm doing this freestyle thing, like I noticed that I'm just telling stories that are coming straight from my mind. Like I'm telling the story from like
That
a
does
lot of the
sound
stories that I've
fun
been
though.
writing are
That
just in
sounds
first
fun.
person.
Yeah.
So like I'll tell a story like just straight up, like I jumped off a cliff, landed in the water, and
Do
then
you feel like you have more fun like that?
I do,
You do, huh?
I do, and it
Because you
feels
feel
more
like
free,
it's more, yeah, natural,
more
right? It
free,
feels
more natural, and I'm not like confined to just reading the lyrics off of a paper.
You know what I was thinking that I should do too? Maybe I could just grab, because I have a handheld mic. I could just use a handheld and record freestyles with
Yeah,
a handheld. I could do that.
yeah,
I just
and
haven't. I just haven't.
Yeah, there's this podcast that we did like a couple weeks ago where we're just holding the microphones instead of having it, and
Yeah.
I actually kind of
You
like
liked
that
it?
because I was just like, leaning back,
It
holding
feels, yeah, it feels
it
more
felt more
natural
free.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting, huh?
Mm.
That is interesting.
And I also never like,
Gotta get some wireless mics though.
yeah, I also never like rap sitting down. Like I always do it standing up.
Yeah.
But I
Same.
feel like you could get a different
Same.
vibe from sitting down.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you
I
know
don't
who
know.
Bass Antenna is?
No, I don't.
He was like a
Can't say
crew with
heard.
XXXTentacion
Mm.
in the members only.
Yeah, I remember members only.
Well, he was the one that usually made the beats, but like
Yeah.
after everything happened with X, like he branched off and started doing his own thing. And like I would watch his live streams as he's making songs, and it just felt like a different vibe when he's like sitting down and like he's hunched over looking into the mic, and like he gets like a raspier voice out of it, and it felt more
Yeah. Grungy.
yeah.
Okay, I feel
Yeah,
that.
it was like a really different sound to it.
Kurt Cobain, I think, used to record sitting down.
Yeah, and with his
Or I
guitar
don't
and
know.
everything.
Yeah, right?
Uh-huh.
I think he did, because I know his performances where he was sitting down. Remember? Or at least the one performance that I saw of him. There's this one MTV Unplugged, I think, that I watched. He's sitting down.
Yeah.
Man, shout out Kurt Cobain, bro.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to sample him for a minute now. I just haven't.
You should.
It'd be dope.
It would.
I have like a couple of tracks where like I kind of have like the Kurt Cobain. So Kurt, what's his name? Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
Damn, I got him mixed up for a minute there. Kurt Cobain sound. So I really do like when I was younger, I kind of like was into rock music. I was into different stuff. I mean, I grew up like listening to a lot of Mexican music, and
No, I feel.
my sister liked like Britney Spears and like just a bunch of like pop Mexican rock bands, even like
No, I feel.
just different stuff, you know. So I got different tastes with music and all that. But yeah,
Yeah, I was saying on the last podcast that like that I reacted to one of Evander Grimm's songs like 8 years ago.
yeah,
And then like I don't even remember that I said this, but I was just like, I'm not even into rap like that.
Yeah.
I was just like, I wasn't even bashing his song. I was just saying that it's not my cup of tea.
yeah,
And I was just like, I'm not even into rap like that. And I was like, I wasn't into rap like that? Well, yeah, I wasn't. But like in 2011, I got heavily into Japanese pop. I know it sounds
Japanese
crazy.
pop?
Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
for
But not
2011?
K-pop.
I got into
wait,
that
that's
in
Korean
like,
pop, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, now I get what. Oh, okay, damn.
no, I
I
get you,
kind of
get you.
barely clicked that K-pop is Korean.
Yeah.
So this is J-pop.
Yeah.
You got into J-pop.
Yeah. And I've been doing that. Like I've just been listening to nothing
Yeah.
but J-pop since 2020-ish.
For real?
Yeah, and then
You
I got
still
back into
listen to
hip-hop.
that?
I do from
Yeah.
time to time.
Should sample that.
Yeah, that's another, like I've just been
I
sampling
don't think I've
anime
heard any
songs.
J-pop. Does it sound like K-pop?
Nah,
Nah, it doesn't sound like K-pop.
not at all. K-pop is
Interesting.
more,
I think I've sampled a Japanese track, but I don't think it was J-pop specifically.
no, there's like J-rock, J-pop,
J-rock? Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
and it has like a really unique sound to it.
You
But
gotta send me some tracks
yeah,
that
I got
could
you.
sample.
Got
That I
you.
could sample.
Yeah,
But
I
we
got
could
you.
make something too. I know you produce, right?
I do.
You can make something, man.
For sure,
Just let me
'cause-
know. I got you.
They do have like 60s tracks that you could just easily
Yeah.
sample.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just probably gonna be on you. I mean, on SoundCloud or something. But
And I think that
I'd
would be
down to
like
still make it.
those good, like for a boom bap trap. Like
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
just loop that,
Yeah,
it'd be sick.
yeah. Or just chop it up so that they don't know what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be tight.
it's really dope though.
We might be able to get away with it.
Mike.
I've been a little bit riskier with my music. I'm usually very like picky about what I put on there because I don't want to get in a lawsuit later
No, I
and
feel.
have them take my money.
I don't sample anything anymore. Because
It's
like
hard. Yeah, I feel you.
I used to make beats for YouTube and I would make
Yeah.
them free for profit.
Yeah,
And like a lot of the samples would get copywritten.
yeah.
And I'm
yeah,
like, well, I can't do anything with this.
yeah,
And no one else can.
exactly.
Yeah. So I was like,
Bro.
I'm never touching.
I love sampling. Though.
Yeah.
I love sampling, but that's the downside of it.
Yeah.
You can't really do too much with them.
And
Yeah,
another
but-
thing you could do with sampling stuff is like, there's this one game that I played. It was like a storytelling game. And they had a song in there that they didn't have anywhere else, not on YouTube, nowhere
Yeah.
else. I recorded the game, I took that and I just turned it into a whole song just from that little
You put it out
section.
and there was no copy. It's
No.
hard for those to even give you a copyright strike. It's hard for a lot of things to give you a copyright strike if you do it right. It's hard to actually pinpoint tracks based on if you tweak the waveform. Like if you have the same waveform, of course it's gonna be noticeable. But if you have a different waveform, the computer can't analyze it, and so it's a lot
Yeah.
easier to get around the whole thing. And even then, it's just like who's actually even really listening to the music. Like how
Yeah.
many people are actually listening enough to get like the attention. But then again, you never know, man. Kendrick might be listening.
Hey, man.
You know, or you just never know, man. You just never know. But at
That's
the
right.
same time, it's like put it out. If you get copyright stricken, you get into a lawsuit. Oh well, at least the next song will make you millions because people know you enough to
Nah, I
care.
feel.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And
Or
it's
at
like
least use it to your advantage.
I'm always trying to like put my best foot forward. So whenever someone's asking to hear a song, like even if it's an unreleased song, I'm
Yeah.
gonna show you like my best song.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna show you something that's just straight good or like
Yeah.
everyone likes this song. No, I'm gonna show you like
What you like.
yeah, like
Damn,
this
that's
is
a
me.
hard one though. For me, I have so many songs that sometimes I'm just like, I like this one, but a lot of people like this one.
Yeah,
I'll show you multiple songs. I don't care, man. Like whatever you like.
I feel
You know,
that feel.
some people are gonna like some tracks, some people are gonna like other tracks, and you're just like, why? Who knows?
Yeah, and
know?
like I heard this one quote that just made me like it made you really think like make your best song and then do that again.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
really like
I
that.
feel like it's just about like making what you want to hear.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like that's how you learn to love it when you don't compromise for anybody, but like
Yeah.
you're doing what you love and you know people are gonna like it, and even if they don't like it, you like it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
Like
I
you
also
did it for
I
you.
fell into that problem of like I had this one song that got 2 million views and then after that it
Dang,
was like
congrats.
what's up?
Congrats.
Thank you,
That's
thank you.
dope.
This was years ago though.
Hey, it doesn't matter. Still did that.
Thank
Right.
you.
Right.
And it was like after that like oh damn, I caught lightning in a bottle. How do I do that again?
Ah, see?
And then
That's where
I
it
fell
gets
into that.
tricky.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I was young at the time, so I was like, I don't
man,
even know what to do with all this.
Talking about Evander, maybe he felt the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he went off crazy. And then it's like, how do you replicate it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, you just got to keep making what you love. And
Facts.
I feel like he's making a whole lot better music now, too. Like, he tapped into that again. You're like, I think he's making a whole lot better music. Shout out to Evander, man. But, I mean, like I said, some people are not going to like everything that you make. So
I
it
feel
doesn't
that.
really matter.
And that's what I said in my video
No,
8
it
years
doesn't
ago.
really
Like,
matter. Yeah, it doesn't
not
really
everyone,
matter.
not your music is not made for everyone.
For everybody,
and
exactly.
this is not for
Exactly.
me.
And
But
it's
I'm
not
glad you made
supposed
it
to.
though.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be for everybody.
Mhm.
We're not supposed to understand. That's why it's called art. Like,
Yeah.
Everybody makes their own thing, and that's why you gotta. But like you say, you gotta be experimental with it because if this one doesn't hit, then you could. That's how you catch lightning in the bottle again
Right.
because you have to. Because you think that you hit the lottery, you're gonna like. That's how you lose in the casino. You go to the casino, you put in a little bit of money, you win some, and you're like, okay, I could do this again, right?
Yeah.
You know you can't. You're gonna lose your money, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It's facts.
Because you're doing the same thing. You gotta switch it up. You gotta go and actually put the work in and invest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once you actually put the work in and invest and when I say invest, like I mean both like money and time and
Yeah, invested in different
yeah,
places. Like how you're saying, like you put your money in one machine and then you win.
Yeah,
Don't do it
you
again. Go
can't
to
do
a
that.
different machine.
Yeah, or
'cause
do something different. Like
Yeah.
get out the casino, bro.
that
You're
too.
thinking too small. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? There's better ways to make money
Right.
if you think about it. And shout out to the stock market. I have some
Ugh.
stocks, man. I have the stock. I have stocks.
Are you okay after Donald Trump
I'm
ruined everyone's lives?
okay. I think I'm okay since I went through what happened through 2022. When 2022 hit, we had like a horrible stock market, and I
Yeah.
lost a lot of money. But I had the fucking diamond hands,
Yeah.
and so
Okay, good. Good.
So I just kept it, and I was like, I'm gonna keep buying And that's the trick of it. When you're down, you have to keep going. Like, you can't, just because everybody looks at you a certain way or you feel a certain way about what results you got off of something, you can't doubt the process, because God got you. God put you there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? He put you there because I've had no money. I've been homeless. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've been to a point where I literally hit rock bottom. So after you hit rock bottom, there's nowhere to go.
Facts.
The only place to go is up.
Up.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't really do nothing to me. Like, money it doesn't move me.
Yeah.
That's another thing. A lot of people are moved by money or
They
by
are.
status or by love. The lack of love, I think, that people don't receive while growing up. They look for it in different places where it's like
All the wrong
acceptance,
places.
or exactly, like in relationships and other people, and like you got to look for it within, and that's how you learn how to master yourself. And when you master yourself, then you can master your craft. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when the real mastery comes in, because it's like you stuck through what you knew and you got to the other side and you became like a better person. Like, that's the whole alchemy thing. Like, my logo symbol is an alchemy sign,
Okay.
because I'm turning lead into gold. It's a
Ooh.
process of like, but it's not actual. Like, it is actual, because now I'm up, right? In the stock market, now I'm up.
Yeah.
So what's up? I did turn it into gold. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like, that's not what it's about, though. It's about the learning experience and like
It is.
the growth that I experienced of not having anything and not needing anything, that turned my soul into gold. And like, that's what Kendrick's talking about in that song, Money Trees, right? And he's like, look inside of your soul and look, and you could find gold and maybe get rich.
Right.
So the alchemist was always talking, like, they thought it was actual science, and a lot of people died trying to make gold with lead or whatever. But that's the thing about it. From the book of Thoth, that comes from like Egyptian mythology, and like
Yeah.
all this stuff is like passed down through our ancestors. So basically, like, it's just a teachings. It's like Jesus Christ was doing teachings, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. It's the same thing. They're all allegories. You're not supposed to take things very literal. They're like stories in order to make you grow as a person, and then like you find yourself, you know, like that's why like we have like the superheroes, so like the, what's it called, the hero's journey, right? You heard about that?
Yeah.
So it's like everybody's going through their hero's journey. It's like it's the same story, right? But we're all experiencing it in different situations and in different ways.
Right.
So that's why a lot of times I'm like, I'm God's son, because like that I am like a lot like and my name is actually has like, that's why, like, JC Kush,
Got you.
Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
But not, it's not Jesus. I mean, I
I
could
feel.
be Jesus Christ technically, because my name is Jesus,
Yeah.
and I am christened because I'm enlightened. You know what I'm saying? But that's not that wasn't even his last name though either.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Jesus was Jesus of Nazareth. And we never knew his last name. We just called him Jesus Christ because he was christened after
Yeah.
he got baptized, right? I think something like that. I don't know. I'm not super religious with
Me
it. You know
either.
what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I grew up in the church and everything, but like, it's just like, it's all, everything is, if I'm very certain that we live in a simulation. And so in the computers and like in a hologram, like it's a holographic universe, and in a hologram you have a bigger picture and then you have a smaller picture, right? And so basically, like, the smaller picture is the bigger picture, but it's just a bunch of little pictures put together that makes the bigger picture,
I hear
right?
you.
And so I feel like that's what we are. And then God is like the bigger picture.
Ooh, I get you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like the way I see it. So that's why we're all God's sons or God daughters, or we're all kids. That's why we're all
Son of
God's
God, yeah.
kids, because the universe created us, and we're a macrocosm of the macro, or a micro of the macro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it all ties in. It's crazy. It really is crazy how everything ties in. But I'm telling you, it's all because it's all how it's meant to be. It's all prophecy, right?
Yeah.
So if you think about it in the Bible, it's all prophecy. If you think about like how things were back then, like how we migrated even into America, like the promised land, the west, what was it called, the dream to come west was given to us by God or whatever. We were
Mhm.
already here, which it's propaganda if you think about it, but at
Yeah.
the same time it's all prophecy. Even like the whole black pope thing, it's crazy. There's like supposedly like the last pope is supposed to be the black pope, and the new pope is a black pope because he's Creole, so he has got African descendants.
Damn.
And supposedly there's only like one more picture holding in the Vatican for like the popes or whatever,
Damn.
like after the last one. So he's supposed to be the last pope. It's
Damn.
crazy. It gets crazy. Honestly, I feel like, have you ever heard the theory of like how every 30 years our history repeats itself?
No.
No, you never heard that theory. It's crazy. It's a crazy
Hit
theory.
me with it.
But
Hit me with it.
there's different shows about it. There's one called 1984, 87 or something like that. And this dude goes back in time and like he like tries to stop the assassination of JFK,
Yeah.
but like he stops it and like, well, you just got, I don't want to spoil it for
Butterfly
anybody.
effect kind of thing.
Yeah, so it kind of is like that, but it's like you can't really change it. Like if time travel is possible,
Everything that was supposed to happen will happen kind of
that's a
thing.
yeah, everything that's supposed to happen will happen, but in that specific universe, because there's infinite universes.
Right.
So time travel is not just time travel. Time travel becomes interdimensional travel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you might be going back in time, but who's to tell you that you're going back to the same timeline in the same dimension that you're going to? Because there's also this other movie that like, what is it called? I don't know, but it's like it's about kind of like Tesla or something like that, and like this dude makes this time machine, right? And so like he time travels and like he like interacts with himself,
Mm-hmm.
but like he tries to change like the past, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't get screwed over. But the thing about it is that when he tries to go back in time, like he goes into a different dimension. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And so, like at the end of the movie, you're just like questioning, like, damn, well, how many times has he gone back in time? Then,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like, damn.
Oh, like, have you seen the newest Flash movie?
No, I haven't.
Never mind.
But I
I
know
mean,
what you're talking about. He
yeah.
does kind of similar stuff, right? So
Yeah.
he time travels and then he goes into a different universe.
Right.
So like anime, like the homie was talking about anime last time,
Yeah.
is very close to real life. Like Naruto, all of that has the prophecies in there. Like Naruto's supposed to be like Jesus and he's supposed to unleash his inner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like even Goku, he has like the chakras with the Shenron and like the 7 Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's all allegorical stories, and that's why we love all these things. That's why we love movies, because they're giving us a message that our subconscious gets like enticed by. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because we know the truth already, which is in the Akashic records. You know what the Akashic records are?
I don't.
Okay, so the Akashic records is like, you've seen Interstellar?
No.
You've never seen Interstellar?
My
Oh my
bad.
god. One of the best
Not a movie
movies.
person, my bad.
For real, no, you're good. You gotta watch Interstellar though.
Okay.
It's a beautiful movie. Shout out to, what's his name? Christopher Nolan, I think. I don't know, but either way, shout out to him. That's a really good movie, bro. You gotta check it out, Interstellar. So basically, like he goes into space, right?
Mhm.
And he gets lost in space. Like it's because with space, with the relative, you know, the relativity theory, right?
Mhm.
Albert Einstein, how you go into space and you time different, like it's a different time, like in space. So he goes into
Right.
space and like they last a little longer than they were expected to. So by the time that he gets back, his daughter's already old.
Mm.
But the thing about it is, he goes off into space or something. He like kind of like gets lost in space, and like he gets trapped by this wormhole, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this wormhole takes him to like a fifth dimension. And like the fifth dimension is basically time travel if you think about it, right? Because time is in a dimension of its own, or the fourth dimension is time or something like that. So in the fifth dimension, you could travel through time in different realities. And
Time
so
and
he,
space.
yeah, and so it kind of looks like a book of life. It's based off of the bookshelf that they have at their house.
Mhm.
And so like he's behind it, but like he could see her in different times, like when she's older and when she's younger, and like in the same room.
Yeah.
And so he goes back to like when he's about to leave to space, and he tries to stop himself from leaving, but he's on the other side. And so the Akashic Records, I believe, looks something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The Akashic Records is supposed to be like the ethereal realm, where like you heard of the Library of Alexandria.
Damn, you hit me with everything I don't know.
So basically, the Library of Alexandria is like one of these libraries that the Romans burned
Yeah.
from the Egyptians, and that's basically where they had all this knowledge based, right? So I figured the Akashic Records is something similar to that, where it's like all of like the infinite knowledge. Have you ever seen Chuck?
Yes,
You've seen Chuck?
I have.
And you know how when he taps into the computer, he sees all this information?
Yeah.
That's the Akashic Records.
Huh.
Yeah, so he taps into the infinity of everything. I've only been there once off of some psychedelics, and it's trippy, but basically you get to see the beginning and the end
Mm-hmm.
and everything in between it. And so it's like a flash of everything, all the information at once. And you go, vroom, and then at the end you just see it come all together, kind of like when you have when you had a computer when you were younger and you had the Windows Media Player.
Yeah.
You know how it would do those crazy little designs.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the end of it, and it all ties back together, and then it kind of like formed like a flower.
Uh-huh.
And then I understood that that's what God is, which is the Alpha and the Omega, which is the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's everything. God is like the beginning of time and the end of time,
Mm-hmm.
and everything in between it, the universe and everything that we are. Like that's what God is. That's why God doesn't exist outside of this creation, simulation creation. And so God is the simulation that we live in, and we're just like the micro.
Yeah. Damn, bro. Damn, bro.
I'm a deep thinker.
Yeah. Okay, you just brought up something that piqued my interest.
Yeah.
Psychedelics.
Psychedelic.
What's your? I don't even know if this is gonna make it to the podcast. I mean, we got
It's all
shrooms into
good.
one of
Yeah.
the other ones. So,
Yeah.
what's
We'll
your favorite? What's your cup
Preferred?
of tea? Yeah.
Honestly, I really like mushrooms. If we're being
Yes, bro.
honest.
Like,
because they feel more natural.
yeah.
With acid, it feels more like you're doing like crack or something. Because it feels more like, or like, or ecstasy, you feel more like cracked out because it's like you have all these like extra ingredients in there. With mushrooms, I've had synthetic mushrooms, and no, don't do synthetic mushrooms. Get
Yeah, like the ones that they have in El
original
Paso, like
ones.
the ones that they
Yeah.
sell in the cannabis shops.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
touch
don't do
those.
that.
Those are
Yeah, just don't
garbage.
do that. Yeah, just don't do just do original mushrooms if you can find some original.
some psilocybin.
Yeah, original mushrooms, or even like something. It's like I remember back in Atlanta, they had a friend of ours brought us some. What are those little chocolate called? Little
The
chocolate bars.
it's because
You
there's
know what I'm
multiple.
talking about?
Yeah.
The ones that come like in the long ones and the little ones. The
Fusion.
Nah, they're like OG. Like you would get them in like the candy bags.
Not sure.
I don't know what they're called, but they're like little chocolate bars, and they had them like infused with psilocybin, or even like gummy bears with psilocybin.
Yeah.
That's fire. Like like that's probably the best way to intake like psychedelics.
Yeah.
It's
The
kind of
one thing-
just the better way to do it,
The one thing that I've been wanting to do,
or make some tea.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've been wanting to write on shrooms
Oh,
because I haven't done that
Lord.
yet. I've listened
It's
to music.
tricky, bro. It's tricky to even sit down and focus on something.
Yeah.
Especially if you're on a sick one, like on a good trip, you're like, you kind of want to focus on yourself and
Yeah.
like what you need to do internally. It's more of like a learning experience, and
Yeah.
then you could write something maybe the next day, or maybe when you're like coming off of it, maybe.
Yeah, because
Right.
that is an high
It's
in
hard.
its own.
Yeah, it's hard to even focus on something when you're off of psychedelics, I feel.
There's this one time though that I did shrooms before. I was with my girlfriend and we went to IHOP. I
Yeah.
took about 1.5 grams of shrooms.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I got Tourette's. I couldn't stop moving. It
Hmm.
was the weirdest thing ever,
I
and it
think
lasted.
it might be just because it builds up your anxiety when you're out and about. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You're not supposed to really like. That's what a lot of people do wrong with psychedelics. They try to make it a social thing. It's not a social thing.
Mm.
It's a personal thing. And if you happen to vibe with somebody that you really care for and really want to, like be with and like actually can stand their presence for a long time and want to tap into like their mind or something,
Mm-hmm.
like doing psychedelics with them would be cool and like a cool experience to do together. But for the
Yeah.
most part, I do it by myself. You know
No,
what
I
I mean?
feel.
Because I feel like it's more of like a personal thing, and like I tap into myself and like the universe, I guess you could say, or my higher self. And a lot of people try to go outside and interact with other people. I feel like there's better drugs for that if you
Mm-hmm.
want to do that. You know what I'm
No, I
saying?
get
Which
you.
like alcohol, a lot of most people use,
Yeah.
and ecstasy is definitely. And if you want to write, like I've written some crazy stuff off of ecstasy. I'm not gonna lie. I don't recommend doing drugs, like I said, but
Don't do
if you
drugs.
don't do
Don't do
drugs,
drugs.
but if you're gonna do them, do some shrooms for sure. Like that's what I would recommend. I feel like
I
it's
feel it's
not.
safer. I think it's safer
I feel
than.
like that's a thing though about drugs because when I was younger, I felt like I couldn't write a song if I didn't get high.
Mm. I've never had that.
No, but that's the thing. Maybe it was just because I had just started smoking and I felt like very creative at that
Mm.
time.
I
And
get
I
that.
felt like maybe inspired by being with my friends. And so when I wasn't maybe with my friends, I didn't feel inspired or something about it or something. I guess something about it just made me feel like maybe I can't write something as good with, because like I feel like my brain's working a little bit better, or like I feel like I kind of shut off people's opinions a little bit more when I'm high.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most
So
definitely. I
so
get
I
that.
was like
1000%.
so I was like maybe I make stuff, maybe I'm dependent on this a little bit too much,
Mm-hmm.
and so I stopped trying to I not trying, I stopped depending on it. I just started writing when I was sober too. I started actually my trick is I start writing when I'm high, but then I finish it, I clean it up when I'm sober.
Mm.
That's a trick of mine. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel.
Cause I feel inspired a lot. Like with weed, I feel like I tap into the Holy Ghost that I was talking about. Like I feel like I
Yeah.
tap into like whatever energy is out there. Like I tap in, like I'm a little bit more sedated, more calm, I guess. And like I tap into the creativity side a bit more when I'm high.
Yeah.
And
I
so
feel that when I
I'll be
freestyle.
a little sloppy though, and that's
Mm.
why I have to like write my stuff, because I feel like I'll say stuff sloppy, or I'll say it kind of sloppy, just me being imperfect, right? Like like I have songs where I like say a bar, I'm like, damn, bro, that doesn't even make sense, like I
Mm.
shouldn't have said that, but that's how you grow too. But also like taking your time with it instead of just freestyling it, going in there and like writing some stuff that maybe it's not 100%, but it's fine because I'm not gonna record this right now. I'm not gonna put it out right now.
Mm.
I'm gonna save it and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna spit it out and like say it a couple times, rearrange some stuff, and then it's gonna sound really good, and then I could go in there and record it.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I like to do things. But I have had the I've been enticed into trying out like freestyling. I'm
Mm.
not gonna lie,
You
because I've
should.
seen so many people do it and do it so good. I just don't feel like everything's for everybody, like you said. Like I want to try it just to see if I like it, but more than likely, what I'm really gonna like, knowing myself, is like sitting down and actually getting my words right, and writing down something that excites me or that impresses me,
Yeah.
where I'm like, oh damn, I wrote that, like that's crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
have those type of, right, when you're writing and you're like, oh that's interesting, like I wrote that, that's crazy, like to even for me to think about that was crazy,
Yeah.
right? When you read it back, you're like, damn, I need to put this out.
Yeah.
You
Most
know what I'm
definitely.
saying? But yeah, I feel like that's what I get more excited about, rather than, sometimes I do freestyle stuff and I'm like, damn, I should have written that one down,
Yeah.
or I should have recorded that.
No, I get you. I
You know
get
what I'm
you.
saying? But I feel like I get more excited of like actually writing something meaningful down and being like, oh, I really can't wait to record this.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that would bring more joy
Right.
for me and where I'm at, I guess, in
Mm.
my
And like taking it back
career.
to how you're saying like you feel that you write better when you're high.
Yeah.
Eminem, like when he first started, when
Right.
he was on drugs,
Right.
that was the best Eminem.
Right.
Like personal opinion, but
Yeah.
like we're not
But
gonna get that
also,
from.
I feel like once he lost proof, it was real. It was. I don't think it was about the drug. Like maybe the drugs was part of it,
Mhm.
where he felt like that's what it was, and maybe because even Wayne fell off for a bit too, and he kind of blamed the drugs a bit.
Mhm.
But Wayne kind of got back on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The thing about Eminem was that he lost proof, and when
Mhm.
he lost proof, that was. It's like if I was to lose one of my homies that I'm rapping with, and like that kind of inspires me to like do something like that.
Yeah.
It kind of would make me feel weird every time I went into the studio, being like, "Damn, the homie's not here."
Nah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I feel.
Yeah, I feel like that's what really messed him up the most, or either that or he got cloned. But I,
Yeah.
that's
True.
just crazy theories. I don't really, I don't thoroughly believe them. The
Yeah.
Gucci Mane one was crazy too.
I started to believe that one just a little
Yeah.
bit.
Nah,
He
you know
just
what's
came out
crazy? That
sophisticated.
they sent me the Hobson, the Hobson theory. Have you heard that one?
I haven't.
Bro, look it up. He
I haven't
looks
heard him
just like
forever.
Gucci, bro. But that's the thing. He's wearing the Gucci skin, supposedly.
Huh?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, bro, you gotta go check that out, bro. That's crazy.
I've never heard of
Yeah,
nothing
bro.
like that.
So basically, the whole theory is that Hobson is the new Gucci. That they didn't clone him. It's Hobson wearing a Gucci skin.
That's the most ridiculous
I
thing.
know, bro, but it's so crazy. And you actually go look it up, bro, and you look at the pictures side by side. They look like the same person, dude. But then again, it's weird because we all kind of like have similar attributes from other people. Like,
Mhm.
I was thinking you remind me of my homie Brent.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I doubt that you know him, but he goes by Trust Brent. He's a friend of Jamal Streeter's, and they're over there at well, the homie left, but they were over there at Genuine Reference Studios,
Yeah.
and you remind me so much of him.
Oh, shit.
But it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
like people have similarities, and it's crazy, like just like the theories that people come up with, I guess.
Mhm.
If there was even like a Kodak Black one too, where he was supposedly a clone too.
Uh,
But,
I don't know who would want to clone that,
but that's the thing. Who would want to clone Gucci either?
I
He did
mean,
have a lot of influence
yeah,
back
influence.
then at the time,
Mhm.
but not anymore.
Yeah, and then
Shout out to Gucci though, but he
Yeah.
also kind of fell off a bit.
yeah, it's same with
It's
Kodak
not the
Black.
same. With what?
Kodak Black, same.
Kodak Black? Yeah, kind of. Kodak Black's still not too shabby. He did pretty good on the Kendrick album, and
Yeah,
then he did pretty good on that Don Toliver feature too. That
Yeah,
was
he
a
did.
good track right there.
Mhm.
What else? He's still on. He honestly he needs help, bro. He just looks.
He does.
Like it's tough out here.
You know
for
who needs help? Kanye.
Kanye too, bro.
I don't
Honestly,
know what's wrong
though,
with him.
I do. Well, that's the thing. He just said it. He just said what was wrong with him, which is interesting. You know that people take things a certain way about him, but honestly, I really like Kanye. The thing that really pissed me off was it was personal, I guess.
Mhm.
I was supposed to see him at Rolling Loud in 2023 or 24. I'm not too sure.
Mhm.
When him, Kendrick, and Future were like the top three
Yeah,
the headliners.
that.
And then Kid Cudi ended up replacing him, and then Kid Cudi ended up leaving because they were throwing stuff at him, and it was just a mess.
23.
Rolling Loud, man. Rolling Loud is a mess. It's fun. It was a mess though.
Yeah.
Festivals are a mess though. They usually are, right?
Yeah, I'm so introverted. I've never been to one.
You
Sounds
never been
crazy.
to a
Never been
festival?
to one.
Oh
Never.
my god, Neon Desert was crazy. I wonder if they're ever gonna bring that back. Neon Desert. You from here?
No, I know what you're
originally?
talking about though.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
I'm from
are
El
you
Paso.
from here? Oh, okay. Yeah. Sun City also disappeared. We
Mhm.
don't really have a lot of festivals here anymore. It's because
Nah,
I love El Paso, but we really don't know how to take care of our stuff. Or
not at all.
we're just not just that, but we're like you said, we're like crabs in a barrel. Like it's hard for us to get out. Everybody that is from here kind of wants to get out, and then whoever is still here is kind of just kind of bashing each other in a way, and
Mhm.
I don't got time for to even put attention to that. Like I'd rather spread love than
No, I
you
feel.
know what I'm saying.
I'm
But
trying to spread competition.
honestly, but that's the thing about it too, though. But that sometimes could breed jealousy.
And that's not, when you think about the essence of hip hop, that's not what you're supposed to feel when you hear
Exactly,
like,
exactly.
mhm,
But that's the thing about it, that people aren't hip hop.
mhm.
People, there's a lot of people that are making music, but they're not hip hop. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
we
saying?
we can't really
We gotta
make.
draw a line about like I'm all about being competitive,
Mhm.
but at the same time, I feel like the only competition is in the one that you see in the mirror. Like that's a true competition if you
Most
think about
definitely.
it.
And
You
like I
know what
was
I'm
saying,
saying?
like make your best track and then do that again.
And I do love friendly competition, but the way that I see it is like when I see somebody that's better than me, it makes me want to go harder.
Most
You know what I'm
definitely.
saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, yo, I like what you're doing. Let me see how I could implement it into what I'm doing. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Or like, let's see how we could work together into making something even doper than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, like something or something where we could both live in the same space instead of like being like, oh, I'm better than you, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'd rather be a community thing than be like, because then like we can't get competitive in a space where it's where it breeds jealousy, like where it's lack of like you can't throw a fillet to the homeless and expect them not to fight, right?
Mhm.
So that's the thing about it, like we're in a mentality where like nobody makes it out, so everybody's kind of against each other in a way, and that's the competition that we already do have.
Mhm.
So we don't really need too much competition. There's already competition. Everybody thinks it's competition,
Yeah.
which there isn't if you think about it, because at the end of the day, who's actually on? All the people that aren't even here,
Mhm.
right?
And it's like
Exactly.
we it's not
So
that we need it, but like somebody has to be the face of El Paso.
exactly,
Somebody
but
has
that
to be at the top.
exactly, yeah,
And it's not that I'm trying to cultivate this,
yeah, yeah,
competition thing where
yeah,
someone has to be on top, but
yeah,
like we need people
yeah.
looking
But
at
we
us.
need
We
leaders.
need
Yeah,
to
of
show people
course.
who are like, oh, like I'm the best rapper. Like everyone can think they're the best rapper,
Exactly.
but like I think I'm the best rapper.
Yeah. But you're supposed to feel that way.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
supposed to feel that way, but you're gonna show it through your music.
Yeah.
But like when something like a control verse comes out
Yeah.
and people are who aren't from the culture are just like, oh, he's talking so much shit. He's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to feel that way. You're supposed to feel like, okay, I get what you're saying. You feel like you're the
Yeah.
best. All right, it's my turn
Yeah.
now. Let me show
Well,
you why I think I'm the best.
the thing about it, like I'm telling you, it's not competition. But if
Mhm.
you listen to my album, you can hear certain bars, like even the one that I did, like, and I'm really from El Paso. I'm not Khalid.
Mhm.
And a lot of people just kind of look at me kind of funny, and like, I'm not dissing though. Like, I'm not. I'm
Yeah,
just
most
saying it how
definitely. I
it
get
is.
that.
Like, he really isn't from here.
Mhm.
Like, I'm from here, and like I'm just, that's all I'm saying. Like I'm really from El Paso. I'm not Khalid. Yeah, he might put on for the city, and that's dope, but he's not actually from here. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And there's no shame to that. That's cool.
most
But at the
definitely.
same time, like you said, like they don't come back and show love to the locals like they should, or
Right.
maybe in our opinion they should, right? But they
Yeah,
don't know us anything either. Like
because you got your start here,
yeah, you did. You
and
and you basically got albums called El Paso
yeah,
or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Which is cool. That's cool. Like gentrify it, I guess.
yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, and he did some stuff like the Khalid Foundation,
Hmm.
and like he put on. I remember the homie Swell Kids were opening up for him. Shout out to the Swell Kids,
Hmm.
and like I guess he tried, but it's like you could only do so much. Like you can't expect him to be out here when he's got a tour, when
Most
he's got,
definitely.
you know what I'm saying? Like he's a busy man. He's signed to a label. Like if you think about it, nobody from El Paso has came out of El Paso without outside sources.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because that's how it was with my song that hit 2 million. Like I didn't promote nothing in El
Nothing.
Paso. I promoted everywhere else
Yeah.
except
El
home. Because
Paso. That's
like I said,
crazy,
I
huh?
felt like that crab bucket kind of
Yeah.
thing, and I put
But
out
that's how it
music. Someone
usually
says it's
is, though.
trash.
Yeah, so that's
All
what it
right.
usually is, though. That's how usually you got to make other people believe it, and then you'll come back home and become the hometown hero. But not
Hmm.
until they see you actually do it, they believe in you,
Hmm.
and it's fine. But it's just it is what it is. That's also why I'm saying like we can't expect anybody to be like, hey yo, here's my homie from my hometown. No, like you got to put yourself on, and if they catch on and they want to put you on, cool. And if they don't, it is what it is. You put yourself on. You know,
Hmm.
you can't wait around for other people like KP wasn't waiting around for Khalid to shout her out, or
Right.
Evander even though he did,
Mm-hmm.
but he wasn't waiting around. He was going out there and like promoting his stuff and like
Most definitely.
getting that deal or whatever, the verse from Gucci or whatever he did. Because I remember I was out in Atlanta when he was out there too, and
Tucking on
The
your
horn?
Yeah,
The klaxon?
yeah.
What is it?